closing in on the end of Unit 2, the very, very long end of Unit 2, and we're finishing up bureaucracy here. We got a couple more lessons left, but you need 3 cards right now. We're looking here at patronage, also known as political patronage. You might have heard of it called the spoils system, as in to the winners go the spoils. And what this is talking about is how do people become part of the government bureaucracy? And historically, it used to be, if we go back to the beginning of the country, that a president came in and he appointed all of his supporters as the government posts. And then when the other side won, they all got swept aside and then new political supporters came in. And there's a lot of problems with that, as you will see. Okay, 2.72, political patronage, backside. So in the federal bureaucracy, political patronage, in the federal bureaucracy, it's the practice of hiring and promoting based on political support for a party or candidate rather than merit. Merit meaning like you deserve to have the job because of your qualifications, some objective qualifications. And so historically, you would just hire people based on like, hey, you supported me for my office, so therefore you get a job. Whether or not the job, whether the job matches any skill set you have. And you can imagine this is not great for government, government agencies like just randomly grab a person who has no qualification for the job and we're going to give them the job. And so this was the history, especially early in our republic, of just like doing this. This was called the spoils system. The spoils system. Again, to the winners go the spoils. And the spoils were government jobs. Awesome. So let's look at some examples of this. Pause if you need to. Here is a very famous cartoon during the Jackson administration, and you see Andrew Jackson riding the government pig, and underneath the government pig, there is the bribery and fraud, and that the idea is that these jobs were led to often bribes where you gave money to a candidate and the candidate then said, I'd give you a job if I win. And then this led to just fraud. And it is just bad government to give people jobs based on their support for you rather than actual merit. And here's another cartoon when Ulysses S. Grant became president back in the 1860s. And then you'll see the cartoonist has Grant holding what's called the government cake and a whole bunch of people trying to grab at it. Like, I want a piece of my cake. I want a piece of cake. I want a piece of cake. And so that's kind of the idea. And a lot of presidents really hated this part. It was one of the reasons why the political parties held a lot of power, because if you belong to the political party and were loyal to it, you could then get a job as well. All right, so that is the idea of political patronage. Now, let's talk about the end of most, but not all, political patronage. And that is with the rise of what's called civil service, 2.73. Civil service, Unit 2, Card 73, civil service. All right, so it's the permanent professional branches of government administration. So it's the permanent professional branch of government administration. And the idea is that these people are nonpartisan. They don't actually get the job because they're a Democrat or a Republican. They get the job because they deserve the job. And hiring and promotion is based on merit rather than patronage. Hiring and promotion is based on merit, not patronage. This became a thing because President Garfield was assassinated by a person in the 1880s because he didn't get a job. So a disgruntled party supporter gets angry that he didn't get given a job, a patronage job. And so he met Garfield at a train station and then shot and assassinated him. Although Garfield didn't die for a few days, actually maybe a month or so. And so the idea then became, you know what, we probably need to change this. Maybe this patronage thing isn't great. Maybe we need to go to a permanent professional group of people who are in government. And then that led to 2.74, the merit systems reform. This led to merit system reforms, 2.74. Merit system reforms. And in the federal bureaucracy, it's the exact opposite of patronage. So instead of hiring people based on political support, You now have the practice of hiring and promoting individuals based on their qualifications and job performance. Even to get a job carrying mail for the postal service, you have to take a test. They have a postal service test. If you go in the military, you're going to get a job. Even if you're a civilian in the military, you're going to get a job based on your qualifications and your job performance, not because you supported a certain political party. All of these jobs are supposed to be nonpartisan now. And eventually, after Garfield's assassination, we ended up with what's called the Pendleton Act, 1883. And the Pendleton Act eliminated patronage from most government jobs. The only jobs that really are still patronage jobs are the heads of departments and agencies and bureaus. So there's a few people who are heads of the commissions. Commissions usually have a group of people that run them, so they have a group of people. Those are all patronage jobs. Of course, the department heads, the cabinet members, the assistant cabinet members. There's several hundred, several maybe into the thousands that are still patronage. But for the most part, most government jobs, overwhelming amount of federal government jobs, are indeed civil service merit-based jobs now. All right, great. That's how the bureaucracy has changed from a political institution to what's supposed to be a more professional institution, although that doesn't mean they're not influenced by politics, as we saw with issue networks and iron triangles. Thanks.